The U.S.'s strategy, and I know why Trump is doing this, okay? Some of these geniuses he's got around him said, look at the Russian economy. It's faltering. They're projecting a 2.5% GDP this 2025. That's down from, 4.5 or 4.3 or whatever it was in 2024. So Russia's, going to be cutting interest rates to try to ease the economy a little bit. They're in trouble. Keep the pressure on. We can bleed Russia dry economically. That's exactly what they were saying before February 2022, and it didn't work. But they're sticking to this because they believe this is what brought them victory for the Cold War at the end of the 1980s, that they broke the back of the Soviet Union by bleeding them through an arms race. I tell you that this is how people in Washington think. They have an old template from the past. They think they can repurpose that for the present day, and that's totally valid, and they just proceed forward on that basis. The reality is Russia is bleeding the European economy dry through keeping them engaged in this proxy war. Countries like Finland are going broke right now as we speak because of this proxy war, because of the sanctions. Okay, the United States is on the verge of bankruptcy as well. So the opposite is happening. If this was really sincere and the objective was to try to stop people from trading with Russia and to try to somehow weaken the Russian economy, the U.S. is going to get the opposite because it's going to increase and accelerate de-dollarization. More than sanctions, using punitive tariffs, tariffs are not meant to be used this way. So Trump has found a new use for tariffs, which is to fashion them into a form of sanctions. It's going to increase de-dollarization. It's going to empower BRICS, and it's going to increase trade between Asian countries and less trade with the U.S. If the object is to bring money and traffic and commerce and trade to the U.S., they're going to get the opposite of what that objective is by this policy. You can't use coercive measures against your allies. It might work with some, but ultimately, if there are other markets available, you're basically inviting them to de-dollarize. And I see this as a part of this trend.